Alright, we should be live. Microphone looks good. Video capture's good. Alright, we're back. Working on Indoraptor. Here's our little baby dinosaur. And we finished with Unfinity last time, so we're on Urza's Destiny. I might just power through to the end so that we can get to the actual, deck construction portion of this. So let's see. Aether Sting is never going to help us. Yeah, it's currently snowing again where I am, which should be no surprise to apparently the entire northeast section of the United States and parts of Canada. If you're over here with me in any of that region. It's not too bad where I am. Like, the roads are still pretty clear. But I'm waiting for it to stop before I go shoveling, so that could be a while. It's supposed to stop at noon, but it's still going, so. Yeah, the roads still look pretty clear, considering all the plowing that's been done from the previous little snowstorm we had, so. Not too bad. If I'm not running Fling, I don't think I need Bloodshot Cyclops. I don't need Body Snatcher. Alright. Carnival of Souls. No. Time of Night. Cinder Seer. Covetous Dragon. Whale. Elvish Lookout. Elvish Piper. Yeah, probably still don't need Elvish Piper. We have a lot of, big, splashy creatures. So doing something like, activating the Piper to put them into play. We need to give them haste, so I don't think Greaves would be good enough. That'd be 5 mana to put the creature into play, so even the bigger things that we were cheating into play, that's kind of rough with casting Indoraptor in the same turn, but no, the Crocodile, Festering Wound. Yeah, Festering Wound goes on their upkeep. Don't need Flame Jet. Otter Cannon, Gamekeeper, Zerker, no. Festival, no. No. Beginning of each player's end step, if that player didn't cast a spell, deals 2 damage to that player. Not helping. Put a fuse counter on Incendiary. When it dies, deal X damage to any target. No. Don't think I need the champion, despite the fact that it's a 4 mana deal 6 damage to a player, which is kind of getting up there in usefulness. Don't need the Vandals. Landslide. No. Nightshade Seer, Pattern of Rebirth, Phyrexian Negator. No, absolutely not. Especially not with what I'm doing with this deck. That seems terrible. If anything, I should be considering Obliterator, but the quad black on it is more than a bit rough. The quad black or 5 black? I think it's quad black for a 5/5 because, 5 mana of one color Makes it pretty impossible to play outside of monocolored. Reckless Abandon. Repercussion is super tempting, but it's also super dangerous. Like, Repercussion guarantees that attacking with all of my creatures will deal damage equal to their power to the defending player, basically. Because if they block with creatures, I will deal that much damage to their creatures, and they will take that much damage from repercussions. But that also means I take that much damage from the like the creatures that are blocking them. So that gets really rough really fast. Also, it means every time my Indoraptor fights, I'm taking damage. Like, I would need lifelink on my things. Even, yeah. I really like what Repercussions does when it's helping me, and I will die horribly to it when it's hurting me. So, unfortunate, but I think we have to pass on it. Yeah, that is one of those ones, like, when it does the thing for you, it's great, but the thing it's doing against you is so horrible that the thing it's doing for you probably isn't anywhere near good enough. I don't need Trumpet Blast. Incubator. Despite the fact that we have a lot of dinosaurs, we also have a lot of dragons, and apparently a whole lot of humans, too, so there's no one creature type I could name that would be super helpful right now. Don't need the Elder for the Hollow. Alright, so it's Destiny. On to Legacy. Beginning of each player's end step, tap all untap creatures that player controls that didn't attack this turn, deals damage to that player equal to the number of creatures tapped this way. Don't think so. Avalanche Rider, Beast of Burden, Bone Shredder, Crop Rotation, Damping Engine. I think I need Defense of the Heart. I mean, we can run it. You know, there are a lot of decks that would have trouble not playing 3 creatures in order to win, so. And being able to get, like, our 2 biggest, scariest creatures and get them to attack. Ideally with fires or something. Um, We do need, like, the fires or something in play, though, or the creatures to naturally have haste for Defense of the Heart to work. I'll think about it. Wow, was Wilds of Eldraine really the first time this thing has been reprinted? I could have sworn it was in a commander deck or something. Weird Plague, Eviscerator, Fog of Nets, Gang of Elk. Will do its power to any target. Warcry, no. Medics, no. Welder, I don't think so. Granite Grip. And I'm not really ramping with artifacts. Am I at all interested in Grim Monolith? I don't think I have Mana Vault on the list. But I do kind of need the burst of mana. That's why we're considering all of the treasure makers. Would I want Grim Monolith at all? If I consider Grim Monolith, I probably have to consider Mana Vault. Um, Maybe. Maybe I do. Alright, to Urza. Grim Monolith. I was originally going to avoid basically all of the mana ramping artifacts. We were going to focus on land-based ramp and possibly the treasures. But we really need to be able to cast a bunch of damaging spells and or hasty creatures in one turn and then play the Indoraptor. That requires a lot of mana. The things that are relatively cheap and provide larger mana boosts are probably, especially ones that are reusable, even if they are a little harder to reuse, so Grim Monolith and Mana Vault. Like, I don't think I want Thran Dynamo or Basalt Monolith. Like, they're not giving me enough mana for the amount of mana that I'm spending, so... Stitch Effort... No. Lava Axe, no. Lurking Scourge. Think so. Memory Jar. Might of Oaks. Molten Hydra. Don't need Honey. Or his Acolyte. His Presence. Mercy. Ostracize. Arch. No. Don't need the Defiler, the Denouncer, Plague Lord. Oh, there's the Baser. I was like, wait a minute. I feel like I missed one there. And I did. Pay 2 life, return target creature from your graveyard to your hand. No. Swamp Walk. Fire Breathing Dinosaur. I'm sorry, it's not even a dinosaur. It's still a lizard. Even though it has Soar in the name. Pyromancy. Probably not. Rancor. Definitely not Rivalry. Shivan Phoenix, no. Sick and Tired. Silknet. Grunts. Beginning of my upkeep, each opponent loses 1 life, and I gain life. Nope. Grand War Machine. Weaponry. Yeah, no, the weaponry. Giving the opponent's creatures +2/+2 when I'm not a go wide deck seems really dangerous. No, the Treacherous Link. Earth. I mean, Treacherous Link is not terrible when I have Blasphemous Act and Falling Star. Like, for 2 mana ahead of one of those, put it on their creature and then deal them, the 12 or 20 damage. Probably not, though. Could also make Indoraptor fight. It's actually kind of tempting, especially since it redirects damage, so it's still damage, not loss of life or something. So. Unearth. If I'm going to kill the Indoraptor and bring it back, target creature with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Maybe? Actually. 1 black, it's a sorcery, and it has cycling too, so. Also, there's the Viashino Heretic, which I do think I want. So, 2 mana tap, destroy target artifact, and it deals damage equal to that artifact's casting cost to its controller. So, it's 2 in a red for a Viashino. 1. Do not need the Sand Scout. Free Folk, no. Wheel, no. Granger, don't think so. Scion and Worm. Alright, so that was Urza's Legacy. Now we conclude with Saga. If I would draw a card, instead choose land or non-land. No. Sohar, no. Deals damage to each player equal to number of lands they control. Yeah, okay. Okay. Two red. Sorcery? Yeah. No, that is exactly the type of dumb thing I'm looking for. Yes, I'm going to ramp with lands, but so are a lot of people. And also, this is to each player, so that's a lot of damage to our opponents in a single turn for 3 mana. I don't need the Acridian, Albino Troll, Akonda. Antagonism, I think. Arc Lightning. Enchantress. Worm. Bedlam. Ooh, Bedlam. Huh. The problem with Bedlam, like the biggest problem with Bedlam is because killing us gets rid of it and we can't block. Yeah, I think I would prefer something that just stops our opponents from blocking, like a falter type effect. Preferably one that is reusable or continues messing with their creatures, but yeah, I think Bedlam is a bit too much. Because everybody who's scared of dying to not being able to block is going to try and kill us so that their creatures can go back to blocking again. The only upside to that is that they might have to kill somebody else to stop that somebody else from killing them first, so maybe. But yeah, Bedlam is very dangerous, I feel like. Useful, though. Tempting. But I feel like it falls in the same category as... what's its name? Repercussions, where the amount of work it's doing for us... Like, the thing it's doing for us is amazing. The thing it's doing against us is horrifying, and I don't know that we should be running it because of that. Beginning of your upkeep deals X damage to target opponent, where X is the number of cards in your hand minus the number of cards in that player's hand. So I have to have more cards in my hand than that player has in their hand. I don't draw cards as well as a lot of commander decks do, so I don't think so. Despite the fact that it's happening on my upkeep. Alright, does my mana-hungry deck want Carpet of Flowers? Maybe? In all honesty, maybe? The deck is very mana-hungry, so... having extra mana each turn might be worth it. I think this is the deck that has considered the most number of opponent needs to be playing specific colors for this card to work cards that I've ever considered putting all into the same deck. I don't think any of them have ever been quite so many cards of that nature. And I'm pretty sure I'm only running 2 right now. Like, I think the most I've ever done is 1. Usually I don't prefer to use color hosers in a commander deck. I'd rather just ruin all of our opponent's days. But as long as it's doing what the deck actually wants it to do and is super helpful when it's working, I want to at least consider it. Loot. Contamination, no. Corrupt, no. Crater Hellion. I don't think so. Another one where if it did the damage to the players, it is a 6-drop, but if it did the damage to the players, I could at least consider it. Dark Hatchling, no. Darkest Hour, no. Servitude. Each white creature and each player who controls a white creature. Not nearly good enough for this. Soar. Electrite. Don't need Endoskeleton, Endless Worm. Zoom, no. Exploration, no. I don't think I need actual Falter. I need, like, effects similar to it. But actual Falter is not quite good enough. A Fault Line. I think so. I'm not running Earthquake, so I don't think I'm running Fault Line. The creature dies. Controller may draw a card. No. Fire Ants is kind of interesting for the Thornbite staff. Because not only is it enraging Indoraptor, it's also enraging any of our other enraged dinosaurs. And it's killing off our opponent's little creatures that are on the ground. So they won't have them to sacrifice to stop the Indoraptor from punching them. Maybe? Two in a red, or yeah, 2 in a red for an insect 2/1. Bounty. No. Cradle, no. Grace, no. Gamble, don't think so. Like, we already have black, so I'd rather run the black tutors. Don't need lackey. Offensive. Random goblins. No. Greater good, no. Greener pastures. No. Ancients, hidden gorillas, hidden herd. I don't think I need any of the hidden creatures. Some of them are a little tempting because they're big creatures for very little mana, and we have multiple opponents, but Hollow Dogs, Hopping Automaton, Hush. No, Jagged Lightning, Karn. Don't need Lightning Dragon. Lotus Blossom. Meltdown. Revel. I don't think I need Ock. Yawgmoth, no. Next target block creatures assign their combat damage this turn as though they weren't blocked. Bond, Persecute. Already have Pestilence. Processor, Tower. Planar Void, Polluted Mire. Priest of Gix. Deals 2 damage to the creature with the least toughness. Unfortunately, that will never be the Indoraptor, so. White, Reflexes. No, Reprocess, no. Whenever this creature becomes blocked by a creature, this creature gets +1/+1. Put a verse counter on it. Destroy X lands. No. Don't need Scald. There's Siobhan Hellkite, which I do want for its ability to ping Indoraptor, so. Siobhan Hellkite. It's 5 red for a dragon, 5/5. Don't need Raptor, don't need Shower of Sparks, Sicken, the Scourges. Attack, no. Three mana, 2 damage to each creature and each player. Sulfuric Vapors is just a worse mechanized warfare, so. I think so. I might actually want the Steam Blast, though, to hit players and creatures. Trigger Indoraptor or to deal damage to our opponents, depending on the situation. It's not. I don't think it's as good as some of the other ones, but it's also less expensive and hits creatures and players at the same time, so. Whereas some of the other ones that deal more damage make me choose. The Turbine. Thundering Giant. Go to the Boon. Torch Song. I think so. I could not remember like how expensive and how effective the red burn spell like enchantment with verse counters on it was, and no, it's not. Oh, where's his armor? I think I'll just take the hit, thank you. A bunch of Viashino. None that I need. Requiem. Bug Lizard. No. Wildfire. Don't think so. Power Stone. And I don't think I need Yawgmoth's Will. This deck anyway. Sacrifices 4 lands, deal 4 damage to each creature. It's tempting. But I don't think I need Wildfire. And I didn't take the other one, so after Urza's, yeah, we're 30 minutes. Brings us to Visions. Army Ants, Blanket of Night, Ogden Phoenix. Put a rust counter on each artifact target opponent controls, and destroy each artifact with mana value less than or equal to the number of rust counters on it. Artifacts destroyed this way can't be regenerated. When it leaves the battlefield, remove all rust counters. I don't think we need Crypt Rats, unless we're going to make them indestructible, since they are the least survivable species of pestilence creatures. Only 1 toughness naturally. Beginning of each end step, each player tapped a land for mana, sacrifices a land. Desolation deals 2 damage to each player who sacrificed a plains this way. Dormant Volcano, Dragon Mask, Atlantes. Don't need the Elephant Grass. Elkin Lair. Cachet, Emerald Charm. I said I didn't need Elkin Lair, but I was double checking. Make sure I wasn't confusing what it did with something else. And I did have it slightly wrong, but not in any meaningful way. I forgot it affected all players. I was thinking it was more of a you get the top card of your deck until end of turn, because I think that's what Elkin Bottle is capable of doing. But instead, it's each player loses a random card from their hand and has until end of turn to cast it from exile. Otherwise, it gets put into their graveyard from exile instead. Loses 2 life unless that player sacrifices a permanent, discards a card. You may repeat this process any number of times. Funeral Charm. No. Caterpillar. Recruiter. Swine Rider. Destroy target artifact creature. Attacking creatures get +1 power. Target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked. If it let them have Heatwave deal them a point of damage to be allowed to block, maybe. Still probably not because of the cumulative upkeep. Infernal Harvest. New. Juju Bubble, Jungle Basin. Adabatic Winds, Keeper of Cookus. New. Break, Leadbelly Chimera. Don't need Lightning Cloud. Mob mentality. Wound. Order. I don't think so. Necromancy. Probably not. Savant, no. Necrotal. Enforcer. Water. Pillar Tombs. X damage divided as you choose among any number of target attacking or blocking creatures without flying. Rowan. Simoon. Whenever a creature attacks this turn, gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each creature card put into your graveyard this way. Song of Blood. Spider Climb. Spitting Drake. No. Lancer. Talrim Piper. Puzzle Box. Good old Tremor. Probably want Vampiric Tutor. Gonna lie. Vampiric Tutor. Black and instant. Some visions. Brings us to War of the Spark. Alright. As long as it's your turn, has first strike. Sack a creature, gets +2 power. No. Creature from my graveyard to my hand, or a planeswalker. 8 Angrath. Don't need his Rampage. Arlen. Or Herwolf. Becomes a legendary creature. No. And together, no. Eating Edge. Blind Blast. Hulk. I think so. Bolt Bend is a little tempting because Indoraptor should always have 4 more power. But I already should have Deflecting Swat and or no, just Deflecting Swat because he's not blue or white. But yeah, we should have Deflecting Swat, so I don't think I also need Bolt Bend. I do, however, need Casualties of War. War of the Spark. Casualties. Two, green, green, black, black, sorcery. Or is it an instant? It's a sorcery, right? Yeah, okay. I want it to be better. It's already amazing. Way, way too good. I don't need Fire Artisan. 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker opponent controls. 5 damage instead if you control Chandra. And the Dread Horde. Cyclops Electromancer. Davriel. Death Sprout, I don't think. Domri. Creatures get +1 power. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control, then that creature deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. Nope. Attacks, you may cast target instant or sorcery card with mana value less than or equal to the Dreadhorde Arcanist power from your graveyard without paying its cost, and then exile it. Butcher, don't need the invasion. No. Don't think I need any of the finales. Yeah, Finale of Promise is not exactly what I need. It does have the potential to cast an instant and a sorcery for less than their combined mana costs, but that requires me to already have one of each in the graveyard, and yeah. Got Eternal Bantu. Got Eternal Rojas. Ronus, sorry. Enters the battlefield, double the power of each other creature you control until end of turn, and they gain Vigilance. Because I do love doubling the power of my things. And if Ronus dies, I get to do it again in a few turns, or almost right away. Where does he go? Third from the top. So yeah, I can like spin the top and get him back as the next draw if I have the top out. Yeah, probably consider him. God, Eternal Ronus, the green. Is Snake God or just a god? He's a zombie god. Right, he's an Eternal. 5/5. Oh, I hit the shift key. That's what happened. I was like, wait, where'd the 5 go? It's because I hit the shift key and thought I hit one of the other keys and then backspaced. Oh. Whenever Ilharg the Razeboar attacks, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Return that creature to your hand at the beginning of the next end step, and when it dies or is put into exile, it goes third from the top. So every time Ilharg attacks, he triggers a sneak attack for no additional mana. Yeah, no, I could see Ilharg being ILHARG, so no hyphen. Raise hyphen boar. 3 red, boar god. Or not 3/3, 6/6. Jeez. Let's not downgrade Ilharg to half his stats. Or Ilharg. Don't need Invading Manticore, Iron Bully. If another red source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, deals that much +1 to that permanent or player instead. And she minuses to deal 2 damage. Yeah, for 5 mana, I'm not gonna do that. Shang, don't need Karn. Franco. tap Reaver, General, Living Twister, don't need the Massacre Girl, Mayhem Devil, Museum Tank, Owu. Deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker. Discard any number of cards from your hand, add that much red, and draw that many cards. I think so. Issa. It's Cruelty. Plane-wide Celebration, no. Price. To Nature. Plus X plus O, where X is the greatest power among creatures I control. Probably not. Don't really need Samut. Don't need Sarkin. It's Catharsis. Diver, Snare Spinner. None of these so far. Spellgorger. Storev. Don't need Storm the Citadel. Don't really need Tybalt. Crit Ogre. It's not terrible dealing 2 damage for 4 mana and getting a creature out of the deal, but he's kind of underwhelming. Don't need Ugin. Likely Aid. The Opportunist. Don't need the Arkin Bow. Grizzly. Zir, no. Oscar, no. Each non-army creature. Okay. No. Alright, that was War of the Spark. And we have Warhammer, Weatherlight, Wilds, Worldwake, and the Zendikars. I don't think I have enough for 2 full hours still, but this is going to be like an hour and 45 minutes if I do it as a single video, I feel like. So what we're going to do is we're going to call it here. I'm going to keep going, though, until we're done if you're watching this live, but if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to break it up into 2 videos, so we're going to pause here, and I will see you next time. Have a good rest of your day.